Hey guys, and welcome back to Love English. I'm Sabrah, your British University English teacher. So I'm sure that lots of you have discovered that us native speakers, we do talk quite quickly and we don't necessarily talk in the way that you might have heard us talk on school tapes at school and things like that. We actually speak in a much lazier way and a way which is much faster and where we link words together. Now for you guys, obviously it's important to be able to understand us, so it's a good idea to watch videos about connected speech and other videos about the natural way we speak in English. But it's also important for you guys to learn how to do this so you can start to speak more naturally and much more quickly in English. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips for how you can speak fast in English. As always guys, please join us on our social media, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to click that red button and subscribe, as well as click the notification bell so you don't miss one of our lessons. Right, let's get going with the lesson. So the first tip is to use contractions. So a contraction is where we will have the subject and the verb, and usually we will delete the first 2 letters. So we will put an apostrophe which shows that there are some letters there which have been removed, and this is called a contraction. For example, I am becomes I'm, she is, she's, he is, he's. And in English, these are just so common. People will tell you that in formal English it's not a good idea to use contractions, which to a certain extent is true. However, they are becoming so common that the main way you'll hear a subject and verb is usually that it will be contracted. Let's look at some more examples. I have becomes I've. She has, she's. I have becomes I've. You have, you've. We have, we've. They have, they've. To say they have been sounds quite long in English. We're much lazier. So we would say they've been, they've been. They've been to the shops, for example. Now let's look at how we would do this with the future form. For example, will. I will becomes I'll. You will, you'll. She will, she'll. He will, he'll. They will, they'll. So we really push together and we almost swallow the will, I'll. I'll pick that up for you. I'll pick that up for you. For example, not I will pick that up for you. I'll pick that up for you. You'll be there at 6. You'll be there at 6. We say that so quickly. So it's so important to learn how we say it, but then try to start mimicking it. Try to start imitating it so you start to sound more natural when you speak in English as well. The next tip is actually an element of connected speech called intrusion. And the reason why I think it really helps with speaking more quickly is because it helps you to get to the next sound. So basically in English, there are 3 sounds which can intrude, meaning appear in the middle of 2 words. And this will be because we have 2 vowels, and these 2 vowels can blend together and they can actually create in the middle a 3rd sound. So there are 3 sounds that can appear in English in the middle, and they are y, w, and So that R, that quite strong R sound, like we would say in rat and right, like this. So the first one, y, appears when we have 2 vowel sounds, which are either E, I, or I. E, or I. And your mouth will be in quite a smiley shape to make these. And when a word ends with one of these sounds and then begins in another vowel, we will usually get this y sound. For example, the end, the end. She answered, she asked me. You can hear in the middle there is a little y. She isn't pleased, she isn't, she isn't. You can hear in the middle there is that little y. She isn't pleased. Now, how does this help you to speak more quickly? Well, you are connecting the 2 words. So instead of saying she asked, she asked, she asked, she asked. You push them together so you more quickly find the next word. Now let's look at the W sound. So this is where your mouth makes a rounder shape. And again, the word will end in a vowel and the next word will begin with a vowel, but it will be one of these more rounder vowels, like for example, ow, oo, o. Any of those rounder shapes will create this W sound in the middle of the two words. For example, do it. Put your shoe on. Put your shoe on. You can hear there is this little W in the middle. How are you? How are you? The how is an ow sound, but the W sound actually comes in the middle. How are you? How are you? We don't say how are you? How are you? How are you? We connect the two words with that W sound. Right, the last one is the R, the So this appears when we have a schwa ending or beginning one of the words. So we have two words together, two vowel sounds, and one of them is a schwa. Basically, the schwa is the sound that we make when our mouth is relaxed. It's a very, very common sound in English, and it's where we're quite lazy, and so we have dropped the stronger sound into an a very relaxed and this can cause an sound to appear in the middle. For example, law and order, law and order, media event, media. There's a little in the middle. I saw a film, I saw a film, I saw I saw There you can hear it quite strongly, that little R sound. It makes it so much quicker to speak in English if we have these little connecting sounds that help us get to the next word. The next way to help you speak more quickly in English is by using those very famous words by now, where we push two words together and they make a new word. This can be through linking or elision. But basically the two words pushed together have created a new word. You won't necessarily find it in the dictionary, but out in the street, that is how people actually speak. For example, want to, wanna. Going to, gonna. Have to, have to. Has to, has to. Got to, gotta. Don't you, don't ya. Music is a great way to hear this, as often they will be quite lazy when they push words together as they sing, so this is a great way to hear lots of examples of this. Leila has a great video where she goes into much more detail on exactly how to push these words together and to make the sounds. The next way to speak English more quickly is by using the schwa sound, the teacher, water, apply. So for example, in did you will get pushed together and will become did ya, and you will become ya. Here, that you sound has become a schwa, so we're not saying you, we're saying ya, did ya, do ya. You will really very often become ya in fast and natural speech. Think about it, guys. Which is quicker? Did you go to the shops, or did you go to the shops? Did you go to the shops? It's much quicker to push together and turn that you into a ya, turning it into a schwa. Also, the word to is very often pronounced with a schwa. It's actually not very common to hear the word to when it is a preposition said with the oo sound. It's much more common to hear it as ta. Would you like to? Would you like to? I've been to. I've been to the shops. I've been to the cinema. I've been to see Leila. Okay guys, to finish off, I've got a couple of sentences for you to take away with you and to practice. And I want you to practice saying these quickly and naturally. Are you ready? I'm just popping out. I'll be back in a sec. I'm just popping out. I'll be back in a sec. She's been to Italy. She's been to Italy. I'm going to have to stay up studying late tonight. I'm going to have to stay up studying late tonight. Did you find the lesson fun? Did you find the lesson fun? Don't you wish it was sunnier? Don't you wish it was sunnier? Okay guys, well, happy practicing with those sentences, and start adding these things into your daily life when you're speaking in English. Try and speak just a little bit more quickly. See you soon guys. Bye bye.